Thank you so much for tuning in to Dalsan TV, Somalia's top #1 TV station for news and updates. My name is Abdirazak Ali. Now let's take a look at some of the stories that we have prepared for you. Renowned Somali Islamic scholar Sheikh Osman Hidik passes away at 82. Somalilander MP Abib faces charges amid tensions with Bihi administration. ATMIS launches probe into civilian killing in Somalia. Welcome back. Now the Somali nation is mourning the loss of revered religious leader Sheikh Osman Hidik Omar, also known as Sheikh Osman Hidik, who passed away on Saturday in the capital city Mogadishu. He was 82 years old. Prominent Somali religious leader Sheikh Omar, better known as Sheikh Osman Hidik, passed away in Mogadishu on Saturday at the age of 82. Sheikh Osman Hidik was a leading Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah scholar and educator. Over the last decades, he ran religious learning centers in Mogadishu and his hometown, Elder, in the Galgaduud region. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, along with government officials, politicians and religious scholars, expressed their condolences for the death of Sheikh Osman Hidik, who will be buried in the Karan district of Mogadishu. Mr. Mohamud described the deceased as a great scholar, preacher and teacher who was central to teaching and spreading Islam. He invested a lot of time and effort in producing scholars with extensive knowledge of the Islamic religion, benefiting future generations in the country. He was buried in a cemetery near the Shifa Mosque in the Karan district. Meanwhile, the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia has launched an investigation into the tragic incident in Bulamarer, Lower Shabelle region, that resulted in the deaths of 2 civilians and the injury of another, sparking outrage and demands for accountability from the local community. Our reporter has more on this.
The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS, has launched an investigation into a tragic incident in Bulamarer, Lower Shabelle, that resulted in the deaths of 2 civilians and the injury of another, sparking outrage and demands for accountability from the local community. According to eyewitness accounts, the incident occurred on July 17, 2024, when ATMIS forces, specifically Ugandan troops, entered a farm in Bulamarer and encountered 3 individuals. The soldiers then opened fire, killing 2 of the civilians and injuring the 3rd, who managed to escape. The 2 civilians killed in the incidents were local residents of Bulamarer, a town in the Lower Shabelle region of Somalia. The 3rd individual, who was injured but able to flee, has not been publicly identified. ATMIS has acknowledged the tragedy and promised a thorough investigation. The incident took place in Bulamarer, a town located in the Lower Shabelle region of Somalia. This region has long been a hotspot of violence, with the presence of the Al-Shabaab terrorist group and ongoing clashes between government forces and the militants. The civilian killings occurred on July 17, 2024, sparking immediate outrage and protest in the local community. The killings of civilians by ATMIS forces have sparked widespread condemnation and renewed concerns about the mission's ability to protect the Somali people. This incident comes on the heels of a similar event 2 months ago, where ATMIS troops were allegedly involved in the killing of a farmer in the same region. These incidents have further eroded public trust in the peacekeeping mission and raised questions about its adherence to international humanitarian law and human rights standards. Residents of Bulamarer and the broader Lower Shabelle region are demanding justice and accountability, alleging a pattern of deliberate civilian targeting by ATMIS troops. The civilian killings in Bulamarer have the potential to further destabilize the already fragile security situation in Somalia. The incident has fueled resentment towards ATMIS and the Somali government, potentially undermining efforts to combat the threat of Al-Shabaab and promote long-term stability. ATMIS which was established in 2022 to replace the previous African Union mission in Somalia. AMISOM has been tasked with supporting the Somali government, building the capacity of local security forces, and protecting civilians. However, these latest allegations of civilian killings have called into question the mission's ability to fulfill its mandate and maintain the trust of the local population. 2 months ago, a similar incident occurred where ATMIS forces were accused of killing a farmer returning from his field in the same region. This incident further eroded public confidence in the peacekeeping mission and raised concerns about its adherence to international humanitarian law and human rights standards.
Mohamed Habib, a member of Somaliland's House Representatives, received a rousing welcome as he arrived in Borama, at the capital of the Awdal region, on Saturday. Mohamed Habib, a member of Somaliland's House Representatives, received a rousing welcome as he arrived in Borama, the capital of Awdal region. Hundreds of people gathered to show their support for the MP, who is from the area and was elected to represent. The purpose of Habib's visit is to consult with the community he represents, as there are growing tensions between Awdal region and the central Somaliland administration led by Musa Bihi. Habib plans to hold meetings with local intellectuals and leaders to discuss issues facing the Awdal people. He hopes these discussions will help him make informed decisions as he returns to the capital, Hargeisa. However, Habib's homecoming has been complicated by serious charges filed against him by the Somaliland Prosecutor's Office. The prosecution has accused Habib of meeting with officials from Somali embassy in Djibouti and discussing Somaliland's military affairs, an allegation the MP has confirmed, saying he traveled to Djibouti in late May to obtain his passport. In a Facebook post from the trip, Habib was photographed with Djibouti's Finance Minister Ilyas Dawale and wrote about discussing progress on a road connecting Somaliland and Djibouti. This has raised concerns as relations between Somaliland and Djibouti have deteriorated since Bihi signed a maritime agreement with Ethiopia. On to our next story. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has introduced a motion to the Turkish parliament on Friday seeking the authorization for the deployment of Turkish troops to Somalia's territorial waters. The move follows a defense pact between Turkey and the federal government of Somalia.
President Recep Tayyip Erdogan introduced a motion to the Turkish parliament on Friday, seeking authorization for the deployment of Turkish troops to Somalia's territorial waters. This move follows a defense and economic cooperation deal between Turkey and Somalia, signed in February, aimed at bolstering Somalia's maritime defense capabilities and establishing a navy for the African nation. The secret deal was reportedly concluded in response to Ethiopia's agreement with the breakaway state of Somaliland in January, which grants Addis Ababa the right to build a military base there. Earlier this month, Turkey hosted foreign ministers from Somalia and Ethiopia in an attempt to mediate and resolve the ensuing crisis. This development has apparently accelerated Turkey's commitment to Somalia. On Thursday, Turkish Energy Minister Albasan Bayraktar signed a hydrocarbon exploration and production agreement with his Somali counterpart Abdulrazak Omar Mohammed in Istanbul. Observers in Ankara say the government might have moved to send troops to protect TPAO ships that will conduct drilling operations in Somali water in the coming months. The motion presented to the Turkish parliament requests a 2-year mandate subject to renewal, granting President Erdogan the authority to deploy the necessary troops, which in this case will likely come from Ankara's naval forces. According to the motion, which was seen by Middle East Eye, this action is in response to a formal request from the Somali government. The motion directly references the February agreement with Somalia as a basis for these actions. Although Somalia has formally ratified the deal, its contents have remained secret until now. Erdogan's government has yet to present the deal to the Turkish parliament for its own ratification process. Ankara's ties to Somalia, which began in 2011 when Erdogan visited the mine-stricken Mogadishu, have evolved from a humanitarian initiative to a comprehensive security and commercial partnership. Somalia now hosts Turkey's largest overseas military base. Additionally, Turkey's armed drones to Ethiopia in 2021 played a significant role in Minister Abiy Ahmed's effort to defeat Tigray forces in Ethiopia's civil war.
Well, that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for tuning in to your #1 TV station for news and updates, Dalsan TV. Have a lovely evening.